Guys, just a quick chat about how you can sense your abdominals switching on in the correct way. I see people sometimes struggle much later on, as well as early on, with working out how to feel and sense their abdominals. And this will change over time in your postpartum journey. So just quickly, your abdominals are wrapping in like corset muscles. They go from your pubic bone all the way up to your ribs, and the crest at the back from your hips all the way up to your ribs. And these are our deep transverse muscles that we want actually to wrap on and tighten in as we do our exercises. We don't want to push out into those muscles, but that's a way that the body is trying to feel those muscles. So I want to give you a tip today on how to sense those muscles more safely. Switching on. Coming on down, let's just take a quick look here. That when the tummy muscles are wrapping in that way with the corset muscles switching on, I've already got them switched on right now. My pelvic floor has got a nice little tonic on it, and these are wrapping in. So I feel comfortable loading them, lifting my knees off the ground, and everything stays contracted. I know the sensation I'm looking for is my muscles wrapping in and tightening. Now my hands can give me that feedback. My tummy muscles pushing into my hands, or are they drawing away from my hands? I know they're drawing away from my hands. So I have a light feeling on my hands. Nice. Now what I can see people do when they're trying to sense and feel in their body is maybe they're adding an upper body curl up, and instead of, they might have this nice exhale, and see how my tummy muscles can just drop here. So they can feel really nice and long. I can breathe in, breathe out, and see this is just, I'm not really doing anything. I just took a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. That's just a breath. Now I'm gonna hold that tension on that exhale, and I'm gonna leave that tension there because my muscles are working well. And then I'm gonna add my load. Now for people who add their load, so I know that those muscles can flatten. I see that in people. But then what they do is they wanna try and feel their muscles, and they try and load, and then they come up, and as they're coming up, they push out into those muscles, and they start to push outwards. So if your hands were on your belly, you can feel the muscles pushing into the hands rather than making it light on the hands. So again, exhale, it's drawing away from my hands, it's nice and light. Keep that sensation of the muscles light. They don't push more into the hands, they stay light on the hands. Soft sensation on the hands, or a feeling that they're not even touching the hands much, and that's when you know that you've got that contraction inwards. Instead of that feeling that they push and it pushes out into the hands, and now it feels quite heavy on my hands out here, quite heavy as my tummy muscles, in particular for me, mine push out here. You can see that my midline here, camels up, I get a little camel hump from my weaknesses in postpartum. And you can see that that is the opposite that we want to have happen in our core work. So we want them lightly pulling away from our hands through our whole exercise. If you start to fatigue, so you come up and you start your exercises, maybe it's upper body curl-ups, maybe it's leg extensions, maybe it's just lifting the knees off the floor, whatever variation you're up to. If you start to push into your hands as you're doing that exercise, then you want to revert it back. Take it back a notch. Relax, take a deep breath. Exhale, find that scoop, find the contraction of the abdominals, and then come back to the one that feels like it's the lightest on your hands. So you're feeling that contraction moving inwards and staying nice and tight, and that lightness through those hands. So I hope that that is helpful for you today in understanding how to contract those abdominals better in your core work.